Hello. Um, as you very well know, for those who's been following this channel for a bit, you know I always try to take one of the news per day if I possibly can, um, just to talk about the state of our nation. And I think as I was going through the news on Punch this morning, I saw this one that really caught my attention. Um, Following the current situation in the country between Akpoti, Natasha Akpoti, and the Senate President, corrupt Godswill Akpabio. So remember this man that sort of apologized in the Senate floor where he talked about how he tried to mentor Natasha Akpoti once. I believe he's the same person. So Punch is reporting that one of Kogi State senator made this headline when he said that Yahaya Bello saw it coming, says Senator Karimi. So Senator Karimi is a senator from Kogi West. Remember that Natasha Akpoti is from Kogi Central. So I'll just get right into the news and I will give you my take. The senator representing Kogi West, Sunday Karimi, has said that the ongoing controversy involving the lawmaker representing Kogi Central, that's Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan, in the Senate has vindicated former Governor Yahaya Bello. So this is what caught my attention as I read through the news, and I thought I'll just speak on it today and share that with you, and to take your thoughts and what you think, because I'd like to want to hear from you. What do you think about this statement? Because this is putting Natasha Akpoti and Yahaya Bello under the same banner, really, by saying that Yahaya Bello was a prophet. He saw that Natasha would be a problem in the Senate. We're talking about the same Yahaya Bello who's under criminal investigation at the moment, which I will speak on about in a minute. Speaking to journalists in Lokoja on Sunday, Karimi stated that recent event shows that Bello could not be blamed for the past dispute between him and Akpoti Idua before the National Assembly elections. Well, just to give you a bit of context, during the election, Yahya Bello literally destroyed the road that led to where the people that led to Kogi Central to bring in ballot papers. Yahya Bello rigged the election. Natasha Akpoti had to go to court. 6 months later, she was vindicated by the court, and then she won as election back. And then, well, the story endpoint is that she got to the Senate. And when she had this issue with Akpabio called her a court-selected senator. You remember that statement Akpabio made? He was reacting to face-off between the Kogi Central Senator and Senate President Godswill Akpabio, which has sparked controversy. He said former Governor Yahaya Bello must have seen it coming. Other Kogi lawmakers and I played major roles in ensuring that the state was not brought to ridicule, but no amount of reasoning could prevail. Our intervention was rebuffed. He added, all our admonition to her fell on deaf ears. One can therefore come to terms with the fact that former Governor Yahaya Bello saw it coming. Senator Natasha has not only rubbished the perception of the state from the events happening now in Nigeria, she has also embarrassed the entire country. So this is part of the. When I read through his comment, this statement that he made, I couldn't but just wonder how ridiculous the current cynics. I mean, it shouldn't even bother me anyway. I should have known. A current senator made the mention of this using a former governor who looted the state dry under investigation for over 110 billion that he stole from the state coffers. The same Kogi former governor that used the state money to register his children who were still in nursery or whatnot until they get to end of secondary school, paid for them from the state coffers. That man did not ridicule the state. It was a senator who spoke up for our own right, who alleged that she's been sexually abused. That's the one that is bringing the state to disrepute. The same person who's trying to call the very powerful to account is the same person that's bringing ridicule to the state. It baffles my imagination how how low the standard has been for politicians. So let's continue. Senator Natasha has not only rubbished the perception of the state from the events happening now in Nigeria, she has also embarrassed the entire country. He described the situation in the Senate as an embarrassment to Kogi and Nigeria, blaming Akpoti for disregarding advice from colleagues. He lamented that, despite sincere appeals and advice, which he said fell on deaf ears, it was unfortunate for the needless embarrassment it was unfortunate that the needless embarrassment could still be brought to the state and the nation at large. The National Assembly has been embroiled in a controversy following allegations of sexual harassment against Akpabio by Akpoti. Akpoti Duwa was later suspended for refusing to adhere to Senate rules. So you see why I wanted to talk about this. This man, I want to put his face there for a minute. This senator here, Senator Sunday Karimi from Kogi Central, Kogi West, said that this governor, this man, this former governor, saw this coming that Natasha was strong-headed, and that Natasha has put the state to disrepute. This Natasha Akpoti. I'm just putting all of these three people side by side so that you can make your own decision and informally. It's Kogi Central, Natasha Akpoti. That is Kogi West, Karimi Sunday, and that's the former governor. The same former governor who stole from the state. The same former governor who stole the money that could have been used to build schools, road, hospitals for the state. That's the same person this man is using as a standard to describe a senator in Natasha Akpoti, whose record says she's been working. Please, for those of you who are watching these, if you've not subscribed yet, please like, share, and subscribe. For those who've meeting this for the first time, please subscribe. And also, I just want to puzzle you a minute for a bit, but I want to ask you a question. What do you think so far reading through this news? I always show this news on screen so that you can follow along. You can play back and read through your own way as well and, break it down. So in the comment section, you can also break it down for dialogue from this community, on this channel, for people to actually impute and say, you know, what they think about this statement or this statement that this particular senator made. Especially for a lot of you who follow me from Kogi State, from Kwara, from that axis, where you really would have felt the bite of what happened in the Senate, on the Senate floor between Natasha Akpoti and Akpabio, and also the event of the former governor Yahaya Bello of his theft of the state resources. Let us know what you think. Now, so my take here is this, right? If a sitting senator can make a statement like this and use a very corrupt politician in Yahaya Bello, who is currently under EFCC allegation. I'm using that picture on purpose so that you can see the EFCC there. A guy who stole so much from the state resources, from the state coffers, 110 billion. I don't know if you know how much that is. It's 110 billion. You can't spend that. If you live your life, well, you can't spend. What are you spending 110 billion for? You go from 900 million, 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion to get to 110 billion. That's what this man stole from the state. That's how much they can even track right at the moment. Talking about contracts they would have given to others to hide money as well. So we're just talking about the one that EFCC have seen so far. And this man says Yahaya Bello would have seen that coming. He said Yahaya Bello and Natasha Akpoti brought the state into disrepute and the nation into disrepute. I don't see anything that is further from who's bringing the state into disrepute and the country further than what Akpabio is doing and Tinubu and the Speaker of the Assembly is doing. I have a former governor stole so much, and this man says this woman who's speaking up for what is right is the one who's bringing the state. Did you remember that recently they also did a corrupt uh, recall where they tried to bribe people to recall Senator Natasha Akpoti so that the same Yahaya Bello could sit up and then take her place. You remember that? And then they will then cover him. AFCC won't be able to probe him. That's exactly what happened with Akpabio too. So you can see the corrupt elements that are actually parading themselves as senators and lawmakers in our country. The same senators who could not even say no to Tinubu's emergency rule. Amended, literally just voted by yay and nay. They couldn't follow the third majority they could have done to so that Nigerians can see who voted for and against Tinubu's emergency rule in Rivers State. That's the same person talking about Natasha bringing the state to disrepute. I wanted to bring this to you today just so that you can see the elements of people we have in our as lawmakers in our country. You can see the people we have as people who are telling us what we need to do in our country. Look at them. So if this man can make a statement as bizarre as the one he made, it's a senator representing West, and it said that the ongoing controversy involving the lawmaker representing Kogi Central in the state was vindicated as vindicated former governor Yahaya Bello. The same Yahaya Bello. The same Yahaya Bello that destroyed the state. This man should be in prison for while they're investigating him. The same person that destroyed the state rode because he wanted to rig an election by stopping ballot papers from getting to Kogi Central. So you can see the kind of people that we have. That's why we keep talking about Nigerians making sure that we elect the right people. Come 2027, you have to make up your mind. We have to have the right people in there. These people who have seen themselves as de facto godfathers, who think they meant to be there. We know they will rig the elections. We know there are plans already in place to rig the elections. But we have to make sure the same way the people of Kogi Central did by making sure they voted for Natasha Akpoti. Lawmakers across the country, whichever state you're from, or whatever state you're voting in, you have to ensure that you vote the right people. If we have people like this Karimi Sunday in the National Assembly, then Nigeria is moving nowhere. So again, as always, if you're meeting this content for the first time, please like, share, and subscribe. Check out all the content we've done as well, that you can see why we're pushing for the kind of change that we want to see in our country. Now, for one of those of you who have been following us who are not yet subscribed, please do so. Support it. Lend your voice. Put your comments in the comment section. Let us know what you think. All right, Stand. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think. Let the people know what let's just start this deliberation of how we can change the way our country, Nigeria, is currently being run. How we need to start this process early, so that we get the right people and we can vet them. One of the reasons why those people like Yahaya Bello or Sunday Karimi can continue being in the Senate and endorse rubbish and impunity is because Nigeria have become so immune and we just don't care about them. And now we're taking our attention to every sector of our nation. Police, the military, the senators, the lawmakers, making sure each part is fixed. So nobody's immune right now. We're calling each and every one of them out. And more to come as well. So please, thank you as always. Subscribe, share, like, keep the comments coming. And as always, God bless you and speak to you in the next video.